Then let's talk about entering a do-it-yourself Audax. So there's been a lot of people on the forum and on Audax UK, I've noticed, saying it would be really helpful if somebody could show us how to do a DIY Audax. So I thought what I'd do is, I'd do that because it's not hard and it's probably going to be your only option, that or a perm, over the next few months. So here we are on my Audax UK members page. Obviously, if you're not a member, become a member because there's really no point in doing them if you're not. So I think it's just up for renewal as well. It's about £18 a year, so it's good order because you get sort of £3 off every event you do, calendar event, if there are any ever again. So what you do is you click this button here, enter a DIY. It's really simple. And then you get this up. So you've got to purchase a Brevit card first. You can buy one at a time at £4. You can buy 3 for 12, I think. So you look at that, it will give you, you select your DIY organiser, and that's by region. So, Andy Clarkson for us up here in the north, and how many cards you want. It's pretty simple. How many virtual cards do you want? I want one of them. Number of virtual Brevits. Yeah, one at £4. No, I don't want a printed card. I don't want printed cards at all. Get rid of that. Virtual Brevit. So I want... Oh, God damn it. Anyway, I don't want a printed one. I want a virtual Brevit. Let's go back. Purchase Brevit card. Right, so select organiser. Who is it, Andy? Yeah, right. Printed cards, none. Virtual Brevits, 1. There we go. Simple. Buy now. PayPal. Everyone knows how to do that. Right, so do that. Once you've done that, then you get to choose which type of DIY you wish to do. You either get to do an advisory or a mandatory route. Advisory, mandatory, advisory, mandatory. Now, what I would suggest you do is do an advisory route under all circumstances. This is for 2 reasons. Number 1, you don't have to submit a GPS track in advance. It might be easy for you, but it's not so easy for me using Garmin. They don't really let you download things that you upload, and it's a real faff. You can do it by sort of sharing the link with somebody else and then download it, but this is all a bit too hard and boring. And the other reason I would do an advisory route is because if anything goes wrong, your cafe you're going to stop at shut, or you have to reroute because of roadworks, you don't have to sort of go through why your route you did isn't the same as anything else. I'm led to believe they're not that bothered as long as your route is 200k plus or whatever it is you're going for. They'll just, there's some leniency, but just in case, I would suggest you do the advisory route. So when you click on that screen, which is you've got to fill all the bits in about what you're going to do. So what you need to go and do now is if you haven't already, is plot your route. And what you can see is you can sort of choose your distance. Obviously that's up to 600k, but obviously 200 and above is random sort of distances. So yeah, you need to go away and plot your route now. So I'll show you what I do there. Obviously, I've just shown you the page that will come through. You've purchased your Brevit card online through your organiser, your virtual Brevit card, £4. Now you've got to plot your route. So this is what I would suggest you do. You plot your route like this, and this is the one I did last weekend. So it's out from where I live, out to the Dales, through Hawes, and back down through Burnley. And you can see there at the bottom, 204 kilometres. So I've got a little bit of scope there if I wanted to make a bit of a detour, to either lengthen it or, probably a bit dodgy shortening it. But yeah, you could knock a couple of kilometres off and still get in the distance you need. So that's that. Now what you can do here is if you click on this button here and kilometre markers, that will usefully give you some, kilometre, how many kilometres you're going to do. So obviously my start is going to be Mythenroyd, that's where I live. And then probably I'd think my first checkpoint's probably going to be around sort of Oxenhope or Keighley. So Keighley's at 20k. Let's say Steeton at 24. You see Addingham at 33. Bolton Abbey, Bolton Bridge 37. And these are what you're looking for. So note all these down on that form that we just saw. Grassington at 52. What have you got? Buckden. I tend to put more in than I need probably. I probably would only need to put 3 or 4 points in between here and, Aysgarth, because that's, what you're thinking is your natural turns. So where are you going to turn? So here, for example, you've got a definite turn and you want to get that in. So you need to pick a couple of points there. Aysgarth Falls being at 85 would be an obvious one. And then probably Askrig, and obviously Hawes there at 102, bang in the middle where I had lunch, so that was really useful. Down here, you're looking at Gearstones at 117. So you need to go through all those really and pick out all your little way markers. And as I say, there's a really good thing on this app which allows you to do that, and most of the plotting apps will allow you to sort of see your way markers so you can see where you are. This is probably the hardest part, plotting a good route really. But if you get it right, you can sort of cycle out your front door, so that's really helpful. Right, so after you've submitted that form, this is what you'll get back from your the DIY organizer for your region. And this is essentially your Brevik card. Now, it's not like a normal Brevik card you'd see at a calendar event, because obviously you're not going to go around, knocking on, getting information controls or getting cafe receipts or stamps at various locations. You've just got to ride through these various bits. Now, as I said, I sort of took you through all the distances, and I've probably over-egged this completely. I probably wouldn't need, I'll probably only need not even half that many points, but I just like it to be accurate because I've got that. It gives a really clear waypoint markers to the organizer, just to show this is what I'm going to do. Now it comes back and it tells you what my maximum time allowed is, 14 hours and 15 minutes, and all your details there really. And what do you do? Well, you go out, you record it, you ride it, and then you will have had an email with this Brevik card on, and essentially what you do is you download your GPX file from your device, whatever you use. You can download it from Strava, you can download it from Garmin, you can download it from any of the various devices you use, just as a file, and you just simply attach that to your email response and send it off. And then if it's anything like our organizer in the north, who's brilliant, this was done in the next 24 hours. He'd validated it. It was actually showing up as a result on my results board, and I got 2.75 AAA points as well for this ride. So it's a really good way of riding without needing to do any of the sort of stuff that's going to become more difficult. And really, I don't think there's any difficulty in doing it. The hardest part is plotting your route, and make sure you do a good route and make sure it's over. As I said, my advice would be always do an advisory route and plot it as the way I've just shown. Plot the route so you're going to ride it as a mandatory, but actually say you're going to do an advisory, so you've got that little bit of scope if you need to. And yeah, get out there and ride. We still can.